everyone, this is Chandni Singh and welcome back to my channel. For all those who are watching me for the first time, I'm a hair and makeup artist based in New Delhi in Lajpat Nagar. I have my studio in Lajpat Nagar 4. You can find our address in the description box. I have 14 years of experience and I run a makeup school and we've trained a lot of students so far. We also do personal makeup workshops for women to look better and more beautiful each day than what they already look. I also have my own brand called Cs.Essentials where we sell a lot of international products like Edible, Makeup Revolution, Real Technique brushes, crown brushes. We also have other indie brands like Indulgio, Elixir Shop and much more. And most importantly, we manufacture affordable lashes priced at 175 rupees. Give it a look on our website www.Cs.Essentials.in. So coming to the topic for today's video is how to lock or seal your kajal. Now I feel that kajal is something that keeps smudging all the time. I know so many women who do not apply it because they feel that the kajal just does not lock into place. And you will be so surprised to know that even I face that problem so much. So I also feel that it smudges a tad bit too much for eyes that feel watery. It also happens a bit too much for people who kind of blink too much, which I do. I'm sure a lot of people comment that on my videos, that why do you blink so much? Anyways, so, and of course people who are fidgety also with their eyes, I feel they tend to kind of their kajal will always be out of place. So I'm going to share a few tips and tricks. You can try and incorporate them in your makeup. I also feel like even in my case, even when I set it in place, I do have like a 20% fallout and I'm always prepared for it. So that's the reason why whenever I'm getting dressed, I quickly do my makeup and then I do my hair and other things so that in case it has to smudge out, because mine smudges out like practically immediately, right? So I always I'm prepared for it and I don't I kind of fix it before I step out. And I'm always prepared, like I'll always have cotton tips in my bag. However, if you follow the tips and tricks, it is really going to help you. So stay tuned in case you are looking for this video. So though usually I always do my eye makeup first, and when I know I want to wear kajal first, I also like to wear it all the way in the beginning before I do my foundation. However, I just finished shooting one tutorial and I thought, how about doing this, because it's a constant question from so many women, right? So my entire foundation routine is done and I'm just taking some loose powder. Right now I'm just taking loose powder because I already have makeup on my face and I do not want any fallout, because I'm going to use a few eyeshadows as well, right? So you just take your loose powder and just apply it liberally on your under eye. Just make sure that the loose powder you are using is not overtly dry, because it could give you really dry, cracked under eyes. So you can apply this with a beauty blender as well. And I am just going to leave it there. Okay. So I have tried all the best pencils on earth and I feel the way Maybelline gel eyeliner stays on eyes is the best. In fact, the only pencil that I would really recommend would be the Urban Decay 24/7. I am using the same brush that comes with the Maybelline gel eyeliner. And I am going to straight away apply this. I love this brush. It doesn't hurt your eye. It is stiff without being overtly sharp, and it does not, hurt your eyes or pinch your eyes at all. So usually when I want to do this much, whether I want to do this much or whether I want to bring it out, the steps remain the same to kind of really set it into place. And there's a reason why I really like the Maybelline gel eyeliner. In fact, I like the fact that it's not like it does go, you can still kind of smudge and work around it for about 5-7 minutes. So please remember, whenever you're trying to set your kajal, please finish the entire process before you get down to doing other things. So this is the kind of kajal I really like on my eyes, and I like to keep it thinner in the inner corner, and I like to keep it a little thicker on the outside because I feel that really defines the almond shape of my eyes, right? And right now I see a little bit of skin, so I'm just going to touch my brush again, and I just apply it liberally all over here. Right at the outer end, I'll always try and connect it to my winged eyeliner so that this kind of really defines the shape. And now what you would really need are some detailer brushes and some eyeshadow. So I use the Huda Beauty Remastered and the nude palette for my eyes, and I am going to pick up the black eyeshadow right here to seal my kajal into place. This black is a matte black eyeshadow. Now it's really important to have good quality eyeshadows to really set your kajal into place, because if your eyeshadow is something which does not kind of set very well, how will it set your kajal really? And I really like black truffle. Another color in an affordable thing, I really like the Kryolan matte black eyeshadow that comes in a single color, and I think, I'm not sure of the price, but it's affordable. I'm also a fan of the black truffle from the Huda Beauty palette, and I also like the Anastasia Beverly Hills black. However, though the pigmentation of Anastasia Beverly Hills palette is really good, I feel their eyeshadow, their powders are a little powdery and they have a bit of fallout. So I'm not going to use that today. So I'm sticking to my Huda Beauty palette, and I am picking up two brushes which are going to help me do the needful. In fact, three brushes. Right, so I am using a crown brush in C528, a crown brush in 149, and a crown brush in C527. Right, they're all affordable. These are all available on our website. I discovered crown brushes over 2 years, almost 2 years ago, and I've been hooked to the detailing brushes. A few of my brushes are really old, like these two brushes are really old, and if you see, they're in perfect shape still. Right? The C527 I recently discovered, and I absolutely love the shape of it. So, and they're not, all of them are not expensive, like they're all affordable. So first step, I'm going to take the 149 brush and I just dip it into my black eyeshadow. Always remember to tap it, right? After you tap it, you'll always see a little powder fall down. Next step, I'm just going to apply this black shadow on top of my Maybelline gel liner all the way to the end, right? And I'm going to do it twice. So I use this technique on my brides as well, and so far I've never had a complaint about the kajal smudging. In fact, they've always called me back saying that in case somebody's kajal always comes down, they'll call me up and say, how did you do that? I need to know. Right, so there you go. I'll just apply that liberally twice. Also remember, the kind of pressure I'm applying right now is good because the idea is to set it in place. Once I'm done with that, I am now going to take a little bit of loose powder. So I'm taking loose powder, I'm taking my C528 brush. I also kind of dust this and I create a barrier very close. So if you see, I just took my powder, dusted it once, and I just practically create a barrier below it. Next step, I'm again going to take my same brush, the one with which I applied the black, and right now so you can just leave it at this. However, if I was just going to leave it at this, I might have applied another layer of black before I set it. You can also create a barrier with your powder using the tip of a beauty blender, like literally like that. Okay. Next step, however, what I really like to do, and this is what I feel makes a big difference, I'm now picking up the eyeshadow Cocoa from the same palette, which is like a really deep brown. I can also use like a beautiful deep burgundy right here, and because I think I have pink on my eyes, I think I'm going to stick with, instead I'm going to skip Cocoa and I'm going to move on, or let me use Cocoa and then I'll use the color Risk. The same brush, the 149, I dust it. That patting is very important. And now I am going to apply this. Like if you really see, I'm applying it right at the edge of my black kajal. Also, when you're doing your makeup, just make sure that you don't overhydrate your under eyes, because if you're somebody who applies too much of product on your under eyes while doing your makeup, you will always end up with kajal that smudges out. So if you see, and I like to do this because I feel it creates a softer edge to the black. I really like that. You know, I don't like to look very catty. That's my personal choice. That's how I like to look. So there you go. I've applied Cocoa, and again, and now I'm just gonna keep on going back and forth. So the black color twice and even the brown color twice. Right? Look at that. And it looks really intense also, if you notice. I always like to use the 528 to kind of soften the edges out further. And because I have a little bit of pink on my eyes today, I think I'm going to use the color Risk from the Huda Beauty palette. Please note, I've used all matte colors right now. You can apply a shimmery color also, but however, I feel that the matte color will kind of set it really better into place. If you're somebody who faces the problem always, I'll say stick to matte colors. And if you're somebody whose kajal does not smudge too much, you can always apply your dose of shimmer right there. And now I'm just taking the pink, right? So the color Risk, and I'm just going to apply this right below the brown, softly. Now tell me, if you apply so many layers of a matte eyeshadow, do you really think this is going to smudge or budge? Another thing what you could do also, I feel, is always use a liquid pen, sketch pen kind of a medium to line your eyes, because I think this would kind of stay better. So if you want, you can always like kind of, you know, draw this line along your lash line if you want to intensify it more. However, remember, the sketch pen medium will always stay stark and you cannot smudge it or smoke it out. In fact, what I really like about the Maybelline gel eyeliner is that you can really work around it and just look how gorgeous that eye looks all blended. I also like to use the C527, which if you notice is tinier than the 149 brush that I primarily used. So say if I want a stronger burst of color, like so I'm picking up Risk on my tiny brush and I'm literally going to apply. So this brush is going to give me the color in a more stronger application. And if you see now, the color kind of pops out a tad bit more. And I also feel sometimes, like say if you are the one who likes to bring her kajal into the inner corners, this brush will give you greater precision in terms of working at the inner corner only. I also, once I'm done, I usually like to take the 528 brush and I like to in fact blend it upwards, and I kind of also, you know, like I like to kind of keep my socket. So this is the color in my socket, Risk, and I like to kind of wear, but this is like nothing related to kajal, but I'm just telling you what I like to do. So there you go guys, this is how I set my kajal into place. You don't have to drag it all the way down. In fact, I would not drag it for anybody who's got really tiny eyes. So drag it according to the shape of the eye that works for you. And a gradation of colors looks beautiful also. And of course, now, as I said, if you're going to apply so many colors, is it really going to bleed out? Absolutely not. So there you go, guys. I finished my other eye. Just remember that whenever, like if you're doing it later, just make sure you don't forget to remove your loose powder. What in fact I also do is, at times, once I'm done with the entire look, I just take the tiniest amount of loose powder or a compact. If you're taking a compact, make sure your compact is not very dry, right? And just kind of create a barrier around your eyes again, just like that. So a tiny brush would be really important. I'm using the Sigma F35. If I had to opt for other brushes for the same, let me just look. I'll just show you more brushes. Wait. Just to give you an idea, the kind of brush I would use for my under eye to kind of just apply a little more bigger powder barrier would be, so this is a Sigma F35, this is the Sigma F79, and this one is a Real Technique setting brush, as it's called. You know, so basically any brush that kind of can just get around that area like that. So I hope you like these tips and tricks. In case you use it and it helps you, do let me know. I would love to have your feedback. Thank you for all your love on my videos. I'm absolutely overwhelmed. And I'm just trying to keep up with the content, and I hope you like it. Do let me know in the comments if you'd like to see any particular video. I'd love to shoot it for you. Take care.